Hi, my name's Derrick Alexander Whitfield Jr. I'm a current employee here at DeVal Lifecycle Support. I've been here a little over 3 years, starting out as a welder. Currently, I'm the Weld Shop Supervisor and a level 2 NDT technician that's qualified for VT, MT, PT. I'm also a lead auditor that's involved in the yearly audits for DeVal. I grew up in North Philadelphia, right outside the Badlands. It was a dog-eat-dog neighborhood. You have to be tough, you have to be strong. And at the age of 10, one of my neighbors allowed me to sell drugs for him. And by the time I was 12, I started being one of those guys that was selling hand to hand. When I was in the 6th grade, that's when I, started to sell weed and smoke weed a lot. So I used to cut school a lot, and I used to hang with a group of guys that used to do the same. We went and got into an altercation with a group of guys, and so they said, hey, tomorrow when we catch y'all, we're going to have at it. So, we decided to bring some weapons to school the next day. The NTAs of the school came and searched through our bags, and they found the weapon I had in my bag. So I was arrested and taken to jail. I didn't understand the magnitude of what was going on. To me, I felt like, hey, I did what I had to do. I didn't realize how that moment would shape the rest of my life, would shape my perception. Right before my 16th birthday, I decided I'm not going to school anymore. I'm just going to make this money. And when you sell drugs, you need protection. And when I was 18, I got arrested for carrying a concealed weapon. It was kind of like a wake-up moment. I decided to go ahead and try to change, see if I can work life the way it's supposed to be. I got my GED and they said, why don't you go ahead and just go to college? And it was there that I met my wife, Jeannie. Going to college was tough for me. I had my first son when I was 17, and I needed to make more money. So eventually I just reverted back to what I knew, selling drugs. Ultimately, when you're doing the wrong things are going to happen. And one day while being out at a bar, a guy sucker punched me, and his friends jump in it. They start kicking me and punching me. I should have been grateful that I made it out safe and alive, but I wanted to get vengeance. So I went, I got my gun. I came back to the bar and shot the guy 7 times. Eventually I was found guilty of attempted murder, and they gave me a 10.5 to 21-year sentence. While I was doing that time, I was able to really understand and see the ripple effect my decisions have on everybody around me. I created a lot of victims, and I understood that this time around. When you're in prison, you see a lot of guys in there just wasting time, just biding time. And then most of those guys, they go back to the streets and they do the same thing that they were doing before, and subsequently return back to prison. I knew that I didn't want to do that wasn't me. So I just signed up for as many programs that the prison offered. I was just trying to do as much as I can do to create this record of this changed person who's trying to make himself better, who's trying to set up for himself a life that can lead him to success when he leaves. Just so happens that as time's going on, I'm getting closer to being released. My wife, she's having her own success for a company called Parts Life, the owner being Sam Theganayan. She told me that he was going to be buying another company, DeVal Lifecycle Support. Sam says, I have all these jobs in here that are going to be available, and if your husband can get one, welding, CNC, any type of certification, that I would have a job for him when he gets released from prison. The closest thing that we have to manufacturing in prison was welding, and the welding program just started back up. So I had about 6 months experience, basic level experience as a welder before I got released. When I did get out, Mr. Sam, offered me the job, and I started out at DeVal as a welder. Working at DeVal has been a blessing. I have no idea why Sam decided to give me these opportunities. He just does so all in the glory of God. And the opportunities that you're giving here to grow as a person is so wonderful. I mean, me and my wife as well have both started off lower than where we are now, and have made leaps and bounds in a short amount of time just by due diligence and hard work. Going to prison was probably the best thing that ever happened to me. Prison kind of gave me the time I needed to reshape myself. And I know that God is the head of it all, but you also need good people around you. And I'm thankful for Sam and for my wife and for my children, everybody who stuck by my side and just continue to support me and allow me to be the best that I can be.